Good morning, everyone. I stand here today not just as a girl of 2025, but as a stronger version of myself. Stronger because of the battles I've fought, the tears I've shed, and the courage I've chosen to show. Even when fear whispered, "Stop. Strength is not born in comfort, it is forged in the fire of struggle." When we face challenges, heartbreaks, and setbacks, we often feel as though we are at our weakest. But the truth is, those moments are where our true strength begins to grow. Think about the strongest people you know. Did their strength come from an easy life, or did it come from the times they had to dig deep, push through, and keep going when every fiber of their being wanted to quit? Struggle is the foundation upon which strength is built. When we struggle, we're forced to confront parts of ourselves we might otherwise ignore. We meet our fears, our doubts, and our limitations. But more importantly, we discover resilience. Struggle strips away the masks we wear and asks us, who are you when things get hard? Who do you want to become? Imagine climbing a steep hill. At first, your legs burn and your breath comes in gasps. You might want to give up thinking this is too much, but step by step, you keep going. You don't realize it at the moment, but with every difficult step, your legs are growing stronger, your lungs more capable, and your willpower more unshakable. By the time you reach the top, you're not just someone who made it, you're someone who grew in the process. Struggles also teach us empathy and connection. When we face difficulties, we gain a deeper understanding of what it means to endure. This understanding allows us to connect with others who are struggling, not from a place of pity, but from a place of shared humanity. Struggle is the great equalizer, reminding us that everyone faces challenges, and everyone has the capacity to rise above them. Let's be clear, struggle is not glamorous. It's messy, uncomfortable, and sometimes downright painful. But it's also where transformation happens. Just like a caterpillar must struggle to break free from its cocoon to become a butterfly, we must wrestle with our own challenges to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So the next time you're in the middle of a struggle, remind yourself this is where your strength is being built. It's not about how quickly you overcome it, it's about the lessons you learn and the courage you gain along the way. Lean into the struggle, embrace the discomfort. Trust that it is shaping you into someone who is not just strong, but unbreakable. We often think of strength as being unshakable, showing no weakness, always being in control. But true strength is not about putting up walls, it's about breaking them down. Vulnerability is the ultimate expression of courage. It is the willingness to show up as we are, with no guarantees of how we will be received. And that is where our real power lies. To be vulnerable is to say, this is me, in my entirety, my strengths and flaws, my joys and fears. It's an act of defiance against a world that often tells us to hide the messy parts, to project perfection. Vulnerability requires us to step into uncertainty, to risk rejection, and to open ourselves to the possibility of connection. Consider this: when someone you admire shares their struggles or fears with you, does it make you think less of them, or does it draw you closer, making you respect their honesty and bravery even more? Vulnerability creates connection. It breaks through the superficial layers and fosters trust. In a world where people are desperate to feel seen and understood, vulnerability is a superpower. But it's not just about connecting with others. Vulnerability also connects us with ourselves. When we avoid vulnerability, we deny parts of who we are. We pretend to be fine when we're not, and we suppress our emotions to fit into someone else's idea of strength. This disconnection can lead to shame, self-doubt, and loneliness. On the other hand, embracing vulnerability allows us to own our story, to say, this is what I've been through, and this is what I'm feeling. Vulnerability also leads to growth. When we take risks, try new things, or share our authentic selves, we step into unknown territory. Yes, we might fail or face criticism, but we also gain resilience, self-awareness, and the strength to try again. Every time we embrace vulnerability, we expand our capacity for courage. Think about the times in your life when you felt the most alive. Chances are those moments involve vulnerability. Maybe it was saying, I love you first, even though you weren't sure the feeling would be returned. Maybe it was pursuing a dream, knowing the odds were against you. Or maybe it was asking for help when you felt like you should have been able to handle things alone. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's bravery in its purest form. It's saying, I am willing to be seen, even if it's scary, and when we allow ourselves to be seen, we invite others to do the same. So let's redefine what it means to be powerful. Power is not about armor or invincibility. Power is about authenticity. It's about standing in the light with all our imperfections and saying, this is me, take it or leave it. In vulnerability, we find connection, growth, and freedom. And in that, we discover a strength far greater than anything we ever imagined. In a world that often glorifies big milestones and grand achievements, it's easy to overlook the small victories that pave the way to our success. But these small wins, the quiet moments of progress, the steps we take when no one is watching, deserve to be celebrated. In fact, they are the foundation of growth, resilience, and lasting success. When we focus only on the big win, we set ourselves up for disappointment and burnout. Life's biggest achievements don't happen overnight. They're the result of consistent effort, day after day, moment after moment. Whether it's finishing a chapter of a book you've been struggling to write, speaking up in a meeting, or even just getting out of bed on a tough day, these small victories matter. They are proof that we are moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Why is it so important to celebrate these moments? First, acknowledging small victories fuels motivation. Each time we recognize a step forward, we reinforce our ability to succeed. Think of it as a feedback loop. When you celebrate a small win, your brain releases dopamine, a feel-good chemical that motivates you to keep going. It's like planting seeds of confidence that grow with each celebration. Second, celebrating small victories teaches us to find joy in the journey, not just the destination. If we only allow ourselves to feel proud or happy when we reach the big goal, we miss out on so much of life. The journey is where we learn, grow, and transform. Every small victory is a reminder that we are on the right path and that the process itself is valuable. Third, small celebrations build resilience. When we take time to recognize the effort we've put in, we remind ourselves that progress is happening, even if it's incremental. This perspective is crucial during challenging times when the end goal feels impossibly far away. Celebrating small wins keeps us grounded in hope and reminds us that success is built one step at a time. Let's put this into perspective with an example. Imagine you're training for a marathon. Completing the marathon might be the ultimate goal, but every practice run, every early morning wake up, every extra mile you push through is a victory in itself. If you wait until race day to celebrate, you're missing the countless moments of triumph that make the final achievement possible. Celebrating small victories doesn't have to be extravagant. It could be as simple as taking a moment to acknowledge your progress, treating yourself to something you enjoy, or sharing your success with a friend. These small acts of recognition create a positive reinforcement loop that keeps you motivated and focused. It's also important to remember that small victories look different for everyone. For one person, a victory might be landing a new job. For another, it might be sending out the first application. For someone else, it might be having the courage to ask for help or saying no to something that doesn't serve them. What matters is not the size of the victory, but the meaning it holds for you. So let's stop waiting for the big moments to feel proud or accomplished. Let's train ourselves to see the beauty in progress, no matter how small it might seem. Celebrate every step forward. Celebrate the courage it took to try. Celebrate the fact that you are showing up for yourself day after day. Because when you add up all those small victories, they become something extraordinary proof of your strength, determination, and unwavering commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. And that is always worth celebrating. We often celebrate individual strength, the lone hero who conquers challenges through sheer willpower. But the truth is, no one achieves greatness alone. Real strength comes from knowing when to lean on others, when to ask for help, and when to surround yourself with a team that lifts you higher. Strength isn't a solo journey, it's a team sport. Think about any significant accomplishment in your life. Maybe it was finishing a challenging project, overcoming a personal hardship, or reaching a goal you've been chasing for years. Even if you were at the center of that achievement, chances are there were others who supported you, friends who encouraged you, mentors who guided you, or loved ones who believed in you when you doubted yourself. We are wired for connection. Human beings thrive in community, and there's no shame in relying on others to help us grow stronger. In fact, it's a sign of wisdom and humility. Asking for help is not a weakness, it's an acknowledgement that we're all better together. When we allow others to support us, we open ourselves to new perspectives, skills, and ideas. A good team challenges us to see beyond our limitations and pushes us to reach for more than we thought possible. They remind us of our worth when we forget, and they celebrate our victories as if they were their own. Strength as a team sport is not just about receiving help, it's also about giving it. There's an incredible sense of purpose and fulfillment that comes from being there for someone else, cheering them on, and offering your hand when they need it most. When we lift others, we strengthen the bonds of trust and mutual respect that make us all more resilient. A team can take many forms. It might be your family, your friends, your colleagues, or even a mentor you've never met in person. It could be a community you've built online or a group of people who share your goals and values. What matters is not the size of the team, but the depth of the connections within it. One of the most beautiful things about strength being a team sport is that it teaches us to embrace our vulnerabilities. When we're struggling, reaching out to others can feel daunting. We might fear judgment or rejection or worry that we'll seem weak. But more often than not, people are honored to be there for us. They see our vulnerability as courage, and they're grateful for the opportunity to show up for us in return. The idea of doing it all alone is a myth that can leave us feeling isolated and overwhelmed. Life is not a solo performance, it's a symphony, and we all play a part in creating something beautiful together. So how do we make strength a team sport? Build your team intentionally. Surround yourself with people who inspire, encourage, and challenge you in healthy ways. Choose relationships that add value to your life and allow you to be your authentic self. Communicate openly. Share your struggles, your dreams, and your goals. Let others know how they can support you. And be willing to listen when they need the same in return. Celebrate together. Recognize the victories, big and small, that your team achieves. Celebrate the collective strength that comes from working together and lifting each other up. Be there for others. Offer your support, whether it's through words of encouragement, practical help, or simply showing up and listening. Your strength becomes their strength, and together you create something unbreakable. Remember, strength is not about proving you can do it all alone. It's about acknowledging the power of connection and leaning into the relationships that make you stronger. Life is hard enough as it is, why go it alone when you can rise together? Strength is a team sport, and the beauty of it is that everyone wins. When we build each other up, we create a world where we can all thrive. And that is a strength worth celebrating. As we step into the journey ahead, let's remember this strength is not something we have to prove to the world. It's something we cultivate, share, and multiply in the presence of others. It's in the struggles we face, the vulnerability we embrace, the small victories we celebrate, and the team we build around us. Together we are stronger. Together we rise higher. Together we thrive. So let's walk forward with the courage to lean on each other, the grace to lift one another up, and the unwavering belief that the strength within us is infinite when shared. Here's to the stronger girls of 2025. Here's to the unstoppable force we become when we stand together. Let's make this year our most powerful yet.